Welcome back, video creeps. It's only less than a year now until we get Scream 5, baby. And you guys suggested on my Saturday Night Live that I go over everything that there is to know about the upcoming installment in the Scream franchise, Scream 5. So I took to the internet, compiled a bunch of info, juicy facts and rumors, so that way I can give you guys a nice little Christmas present. Merry Christmas! It's not a late Christmas present either, it's an early one. I just didn't get you anything last year. I'm sorry, and you're welcome. Alright, let's do this. Remember, watch the whole video. Don't be a bitch. Now, before we get into all the Scream 5 breadcrumbs, I actually have to talk to you guys about something rather serious. And it has to do with the channel. I love being as unfiltered as we get to be here on Video Creep. We show nudity and graphic violence. I curse like a sailor. And you guys love that I keep it real in that way. The after hours bar atmosphere that we've been able to cultivate here is something very special. And I love that. But that comes with a price. YouTube does not promote my videos because of the very high adult content in them. Now, I don't want to change the way that I make videos, but chances are my stuff isn't popping up in your feed. And that's a shame because I work really hard on my videos for you guys. So I'm urging you guys, if you enjoy my channel, hit the notification bell and click all. You'll get notified every time that I make a new video or every time that I go live to get drunk and sing karaoke to you guys, which I do a lot. Sharing my videos is also a massive help to my channel. All of that gets the word out and helps my videos get seen. So I'm asking you, hit the notification bell, stay till the end of the video, and share my videos to other people who you think may like the channel. Alright, that's my whole spiel. Let's get into it. Okay, first things first, this thing is expected to drop January 14th, 2022. So this movie's gonna be a fucking Capricorn, great. I can't wait for it to be all down to earth and stubborn. Spyglass Entertainment are the guys who are putting this thing out. They actually bought the rights to the Scream franchise a while back, alongside buying all the rights to Hellraiser as well. So sometime in the near future, we should actually be seeing some news coming out about that project as well. There's no way that they would buy that property and then just do nothing with it. That's just not how it works. So I'm actually really excited to see what a Hellraiser reboot would look like. Especially because Spyglass Entertainment, they're not bad. They put out good shit. Now, seeing how we lost the late and great Wes Craven way back in 2015, chances are he's not coming back to direct this. For those not in the know, he actually directed every single installment up until 5. This is his baby, even more so than Nightmare on Elm Street. He directed more Scream films than he did for Nightmare on Elm Street when you really think about it. So this property is near and dear to his heart. And I'm actually really glad with who they got to come in to take over the reins. Directing this time around, we got Matt Bettinelli-Open, who also directed films like Ready or Not, Devil's Due, and VHS. 2 out of those movies ain't bad. I know it has its like pocket of people who really fucking dig it and shit, but like, VHS can suck right on my balls. But those other 2 I thought were really solid. Scream 5 is gonna be written by James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick, who also wrote for films like Ready or Not, Castle Rock, and Stan vs. Evil. So already all these guys are coming from a background in the genre, which is always a great sign. Especially with those credentials. By and large, I like all those movies and shows. And this is a good sign, especially after how we left off in Scream 4. It was so good, receptively. Commercially, big flop. So you really want some guys in there that are gonna keep up with that momentum and take the franchise even further into a direction that'll lead us to getting more installments in the Scream universe. The late Wes Craven did have plans to make Screams all the way up to 6 when he was making 4. But unfortunately, because the box office decided to knuckle fuck Wes's dreams, funding got pulled for the project and we only ever got Scream 4. So hopefully with these guys and Spyglass working together, the future of Scream will be solid. And we can look forward to a bunch of new films coming out. Now, we do have some confirmed alumni coming back to fuck shit up. Returning faces will go as follows. We got Courtney Cox coming back as Gale Weathers, Nev Campbell as fucking Sidney Prescott, thank God. David Arquette coming back as Dewey. We got Marley Sheldon coming back as Judy Hicks, Officer Dewey's right-hand homie. And Roger Jackson coming back as the voice of Ghostface. Thank God too, this guy has never skipped a beat. He has been in every single movie. I think without that voice, we would be doing a disservice to ourselves. It's fucking awesome to see all of these great characters returning to reprise their roles. We've built up so much emotion and care for these characters. Of course I want to see them in Scream 5. But most recently, as far as Scream alumni goes, we also got confirmed that Randy's sister will also be making a comeback. Now, how she's gonna play into this storyline, I have no idea. But being a huge Randy fan, I am excited to see the Meeks come back to the story. Who knows, maybe she has a fucking videotape or something. We'll get more Randy wisdom. Jamie Kennedy, in the spirit of Randy, has kind of peppered over the entire franchise. So to see him come back, that would be really great. Even if it is on videotape or something. We have technology to make him younger. That's just good fan service, and it would feel good on the inside. Jamie Kennedy has expressed interest in wanting to come back. And if they could do it in a clever way, man, I'm all for that. Now, like every new franchise where the old characters don't die, we need some new motherfuckers in this bitch to die. This is a horror movie. And funny enough, all of the newcomers have a history in horror movies. Jack Quaid was in Tragedy Girls. Jenna Ortega was in The Babysitter 2. Kyle Gallner, Nightmare on Elm Street reboot. Dylan Minnette, Don't Breathe. These are people who know the horror genre, and they're gonna be able to hold their own against the Ghost Man himself. There's some more people that have been confirmed, but these following characters are the ones that we're gonna see up front and center. And lucky for you, I have some short character descriptions that gives us a good idea of the kind of people that we're gonna be watching in this thing. First up, the brand new Sidney Prescott will be a girl named Sam, 24 years old, who left her hometown at 18. She's still being haunted by something traumatic that happened in her past, and she's reliant on medication to keep her ass straight. So already we're getting a really layered lead. Her background meeting Sydney's background, I think, will make for some really interesting interactions. Sam will also have a boyfriend named Richie, and the only real description that we have about Richie is that he's a really sweet guy. And I'm sorry, this is a Scream film, so guess what, you sweet motherfucker? You're a suspect! Sam has an 18-year-old sister named Teresa, and their relationship is fractured. They both came from the same broken home, but Sam dipped out, leaving Teresa to fend for herself. So there will be friction there. Enough friction enough to make Teresa don the Ghostface mask? Probably not, but you never know in these movies. We got a pink-haired girl that's gonna be friends with Teresa named Layla, and not a lot is known about Layla, besides the fact that she has pink hair and that she's kinda artsy. We know that there will be twin characters named Mindy and Chad will be dating Layla. And there's gonna be some friction between Mindy and Layla, as Mindy thinks that Layla's just fucking boring. She only dyed her hair pink so that way someone would think that she has a personality. So again, more tension within this friend group. Plus the fact that Mindy is described as a fucking tell it like it is, badass mama. She speaks exactly what's on her mind, and I think that's gonna make for some great confrontation for you and me to look forward to. It's gonna be tits. Now, Teresa's gonna have a best friend named Amber, who's also 18. So it's funny, like while Sam is gonna be the lead, it looks like the friend group that we're gonna be following is Teresa's friend group. So who knows, maybe that's who the story will be following going forward. Just food for thought. Now, Amber isn't gonna like Sam at all. Again, motive is just fucking everywhere in this movie. We have Chad, who's the twin brother of Mindy, who's a jock and a confident guy. And his whole thing is he wants to take his relationship to the next level. Last time that somebody wanted to take their relationship to the next level, they went crazy and killed everybody. So he's a suspect too, as far as my ass is fucking concerned. And last and most interesting, if you ask me, we have Wes Hicks, who will be the son of Officer Hicks, which I have a whole shebang, but we're gonna wait till the rumors section to fucking talk about that. The film is just being called Scream, or for you deep diggers, Parkside Alpha. For anyone that wants to snoop around on Production Weekly and shit, maybe find a cool audition on Vimeo, you send it to me, I'll talk about it on my channel. And while yes, this installment will see the return of familiar faces, this is officially labeled as a reboot. Spyglass has announced plans for a 6th installment as well. So there is a plan behind the scenes to keep going forward with Scream. And it's good to know that they aren't just buying properties to shit out different kinds of cash grabs. It seems like they're building something that we can respect and look forward to. Spyglass is legitimately working on something that'll last. It's even been confirmed in this movie that the original Ghostface mask will be used, which is amazing, and I'm so glad for the die-hard fans who have been wanting to see a return of that mask. However, for me, I probably won't even notice. The Ghostface mask, it's not like the Michael Myers mask or the Chucky doll where like you can easily spot the differences. They're so nuanced. I just can't tell. But that's just me. I'm just me. And either way, it's super exciting. The filmmakers who make the fan film stab movies in the real world and shit, they got a cease and desist because Spyglass doesn't want them using the Ghostface mask anymore. They need it now. And in securing those rights, they have every right to do so. Even the MTV show couldn't get the rights to use the original Ghostface mask. So seeing the return of it is a huge win for the franchise. Now, of course, the movie will take place in Woodsboro again. And with the description that we got, I think a lot of us believed that it was going to be Sydney that was returning to Woodsboro. And unfortunately, to this day, this is still the only description that we have for the plot of this movie. The film follows the story of a young woman who returns to her old hometown only to encounter horrific murder cases connected to a notorious masked serial killer. So again, that totally, and when I heard it, I thought, okay, Sydney is gonna come back to town, shit's gonna get fucked up. But now, knowing what we know about the new characters that have been introduced to this thing, it very much so sounds like Sam. Especially knowing that she's the new lead, it's completely feasible. And while that description is small, between that and what we know about these characters, we kind of know everything that we need to know. But this does get me wondering what the original cast will be doing in this film. Because so far from what we know, it doesn't look like they have a whole lot to do. Unless we're going to be sending them off once and for all. Passing the torch and tying up loose ends. Could we potentially see Dewey and Sydney get together? Let us not forget that in Scream 4, they had that super charged up scene between the two of them.
Well, I read somewhere once, just when you think things can't get any worse, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they get better. Out of Darkness by Sidney Prescott, page 220.
Let me love you down.
And let's be honest, Gale Weathers and Dewey are toxic. Do you really think they're still together 9 years later? Get the fuck out of here. This is also where Judy coming back kinda seems really interesting. Because also in part 4, she was all up on Dewey's balls. If Sydney is now going after Dewey, is that motive enough for Judy to don the mask? In part 4, Judy was really fucking creepy in that stairwell scene. And Sydney didn't even remember her. You don't think that shit fucking burned a bit? And if all that is happening, what does Gale do? If her and Dewey are divorced, then there's no doubt that she would probably return to Woodsboro to be the journalistic vulture that she is. But will the relationship be fractured now between the three? Will Gale put her hands on Officer Hicks? Obviously, it's way too soon to tell any of that big information. But man, just thinking about that stuff gets me fucking pumped. Which brings us to rumors. Now, like all movies with this size, there's a heavy amount of rumors floating around. So take all of this stuff with a grain of salt. And the truth is that I'm not the kind of guy who likes to spread rumors and shit. But I trust you, so like, we can do it. Now, one of the big rumors floating around is that Selena Gomez is going to be the opening kill in Scream 5. I got no hate in my heart for Selena Gomez or anything. If they want to kill her, fucking awesome. I'm with it. Now, the reason that this is so is because Courtney Cox and the entire Scream 5 cast followed Selena Gomez at the same time. Then in the comments section on one of Selena Gomez's pictures, Courtney Cox wrote, "I can't wait to meet you." Immediately followed by her needing to delete the comment and the entire Scream 5 cast unfollowing Selena Gomez. So clearly that is kind of fishy. There's also speculation and people wondering if we're gonna see the return of Kirby. She was a Scream 4 favorite, and I personally would have liked to see her come back to this as well. We didn't exactly see her body bag get zipped up and her thrown into the back of an ambulance or anything, so it is possible. And Hayden Panettiere, I thought she killed it in part 4, so I would love to see a return of Kirby. Now there's also a huge rumor going around that the Billy Loomis storyline from part 1 will be re-injected into this film in a major way. The character who plays Judy Hicks took to her Instagram to congratulate everybody on wrapping on Scream 5. And without thinking about it, she actually tagged Skeet, who plays Billy Loomis in the first movie. Why the fuck would she do that if he wasn't involved? Could it be, and these are my own shits, could it be that because Sydney wasn't putting out for Billy, that he was cheating on her on the side with somebody else? Could it be that that somebody else was actually Judy Hicks? And could it be that that child would grow up to be Wes Hicks, who finds out about his origins through his mother working at the police station, and he goes for revenge on Sydney for having to grow up without a father? It's not that crazy to think about. Honestly, just thinking about all that drama makes my fucking mouth salivate. But no rumor is bigger than when we talk about the return of Stu. This is something that the fans want desperately, and Matthew Lillard also wants to come back. Unfortunately, as of right now, there is no concrete evidence that he has anything to do with the project. But if I had to speculate, I imagine that Stu would have known about Billy's infidelity towards Sydney. And if he was fucking Judy on the side, Stu would know about it. I imagine that if they were to bring him into the fold, he would also be the one to spill the beans. Guys, I know that this was a really dense video with a lot of information in there, so thank you so much for staying till the end of my video. If you're interested in donating to my channel, a link to my Patreon is down below. It is very appreciated and it helps me out more than you even know, man. You'll also find links to all of my social media, including the horror Facebook group Coffin Grounds, where I hang out and talk about horror all day with a bunch of other really cool content creators. So check that out if you're not already a part of it. Again, hit that notification bell, and if you're not already, please hit subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video. Peace, video creeps.
Appreciation comes in many forms. Those who stay for you will stay and brave the storm. Rebecca reviews, Kyoko, Larry Sherman, Corey Stewart, Coleman, Spooky and Butcher's Grindhouse, Lolo Exco, Six Siren and Michael Andrews. You guys, you mean so much to me, makes me think of where I'd be.